Good afternoon, Monday the 27th of April. It's the 4 p.m. movement snack, our third today. This is the final 10 minutes of today. And we've been doing this for 6 weeks. Many of the movement snackers who I'm waiting for now have been with us all that time. But it doesn't matter if you haven't. It's never too late to join us. If you're watching this back and this isn't the one you're looking for, it's Monday the 27th, it's the 4 p.m. So if you'd like to stay, fantastic. If not, scroll back, look for another date. This is the preamble, the broadcast. If you don't watch this, if you don't want this and you're watching on catch up, you have the luxury of deleting me for this bit, if you would like. But for now, we've got to get the people in. We got to get the live movement snackers in. I know you're live, but you know what I mean. Come on. Here they all come, coming round the mountain, singing, or not singing, as the case may be. Lovely to see you all. More sun in heaven, yes. Only just though, it's been a bit gloomy this morning. Cooey from Hove, hello Edinburgh. Scotland's in. I think I saw Gosport was in. I think that was there. And Tom Hanks is in. Or is that George? Thank you, Tom Hanks. Hello, Calgary. Good afternoon. Good morning, Dee. Have I got that right? I think it's morning for you. You're 7 behind, I think, Dee, aren't you? Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Wales is in. Several of the Welsh movement snackers are in. There's a whole Welsh posse. There's a whole Scottish posse. Come on, everyone. Great to see you. You keep on coming back, don't you? Who'd have thought? Bolton, good afternoon. Alison's ready for a stretch. Any more Zooms? Quick reports. Any Zooms to report? Any crowbarring? Any other declarations of terrible hair? Somerset, hello. D, it's 9 a.m. in Calgary and you've had your half-hour morning walk already. Nice, ready for a stretch. Thank you, everyone. At lunchtime, in the lunchtime movement snack today, we did a review or a start point, whichever the case may be, of the chair rise progress checks here from the active calendar. So thank you for all of you who posted your progress. Great. That's not mandatory that you do that, but it's really great for us to see that. So thank you. Peterhead's in, Shrewsbury's in, ready for another sesh. Chichester is back. Have you put your children somewhere, Helen? Are they entertained elsewhere in the garden or house? Lovely to see you. Hello, Cambridge. Quick, maybe 30 seconds and then we'll do it. I can imagine Helen can't type fast enough now in response to that question. She's always good for her responses, Helen. Just while we close down this last 30 seconds, where you're going to sit, where you're going to stand, have you got some external support? Are you ready to be calm? I'll put on my 4 p.m. calm voice any minute now. Angela, is that me or you that's got totally terrible hair? It could be any one of us, probably. It's quite funny. When I finish these movement snacks and I go into Mum, it's the first thing she reports on. Hair's not looking good today, Bex. I said I'd sort it out, but I've given up. Maddie's in. Helen's suspicious because her children are quiet. Maddie's in the bedroom. All right, here we go. It's a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. My name is Bex Townley from Later Life Training, and we are here on week 6, Monday the 27th of April, and this is the third movement snack today, and we're looking to accumulate 30 additional movement minutes in every single day, and these are in addition to anything else you're doing, not to replace, not instead of, as well as, and hopefully everything we learn and feel in these movement snacks are then deployed into all of your activities of daily living. It's a win-win. So this snack now is 10 minutes of calm and stretch. And as part of that calm and as part of that preparation to move, we start with a minute or so of rhythmical march. Would either serve as a circulation booster if you've been sat for a while, or as a calming kind of pulse lowering minute. And this means we pick up some support if you prefer to be in stand, and start to walk, start to march on the spot. Get moving first, rhythmical, steady, stable, using external support, and then we go through the checks of lifted, lengthen here through the posture. Open up the shoulders, help with breathing, help with balance, help with shoulder movement. Once this bit's set, have a think, have a feel what's happening down in feet, what's happening in hips and knees. Slow it down and try to articulate ankles and feet a bit more. Can you see I'm peeling off the heels and pressing through the toes? And this can be with 1 or 2 arms as and when you're ready. That's the standing prompts. Here are the seated prompts. Hip walk forward, shift, lift and shift through the hips. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the centre bit. Start steady movement from the shoulder, 1 or 2 arms when you can. Coordinated, steady, focusing on this backward press. As and when, and if appropriate, if it's an option for you to bring in the feet on that. You may choose just to lift the heels up with the arms. You may choose to bring the hands together. A whole heap of options. This should feel calm but active. And the same in stand. And after that minute of circulation boosting, it just essentially draws a line under all the things that happened before. We take a deep breath, we're not exhausted or breathless. We've done some checks through the posture, steady, stable through balance. Now we're going to move on to a short sequence of 3-dimensional movements that will involve weight transfer across the base. That will either be feet or it will be across the buttocks if we're seated. It's going to involve some smooth, slow, steady arm actions. It's going to involve some weight transfer, and if you feel steady and confident, it's going to involve some head turns. So these 3 things combine, these 3-dimensional movements, these 3 dimensions come together and help us be more mindful about how we move and to link into all our activities of daily living. Let's start today. Let's pick up on the one that we did yesterday. So feet are split stance here. Pick up the support as you need. Hand or 2 hands. We're going to take the weight transfer first. So make sure that the support is at the right height. And it's the same in seated. The foot position is the same in seated. Do make sure you've lengthened and lifted out of the middle. If you feel you're a bit squashed and slumped in the chair, we really want to lengthen that up, and it lengthens from here. From there, standing tall, and we shift the weight across the base and have a glance down, and our knees follow the direction of the toes. I'm staying lifted, I'm staying tall. Nothing is changing about my upright posture position. The word is glide, everyone. We're gliding forwards and back. I'm not bending, I'm not hinging, and it's the same in the chair. It's a shift forwards and back, here, there. Now in the chair it will feel slightly different. I have got this little bit of a hinge. because I'm now sat on my buttocks. My base is different, so I'm going to shift forward. I'm shifting the weight across my buttocks, but I'm staying tall and lifted. That's the weight transfer element. Okay, arms on that are going to be palms facing each other. One hand to begin with. It's like a circular movement, this one. Can you see? It's low, it's all under shoulder height. Pick up the support from that. If you're comfortable without, it's here. If you need support, you'll need to change the arms each time. And the weight shift comes with the hands. Everything is low here. And as you come through this, make sure you lift through the middle bit. The movements don't get bigger, they get slower and more confident and steadier and smoother. And also be sure to change legs on that. Continue with a single arm if you want to keep that external support. We are transferring the weight, so this will challenge your balance to a less or greater degree. In the chair it's the same. Adopt the position. Here's the weight shift, and then here's the arms, and it's a circular movement. Circular movement. Now, if you prefer, if you would like something a little bit more complex, we've been working on the waving hands like clouds, so let's just crowbar a little bit of that in if you would like. I'll just go through the arm actions. So there's the first stage. The first stage is single arm at a time. But that's not really doing what we want. The next stage is watch the hand, look ahead, hand carries on. So we have this moment whereby the gaze is on the hand, I look forward but the arm carries on. That's still not what we want. We want to get to the point where we have both hands moving. Now at this stage, I'm on a fixed base, the legs aren't swaying, just getting the arms right. Once you have that, if you'd like to add the weight transfer, maybe try it sat down first, see how you feel with that. If you're confident, steady and stand, maybe just do a single arm first with the weight shift forwards and back. And then as and when you feel you can, we bring in both. Now this is a really complex movement. Head turn, weight transfer, arms in different directions. So if this breaks down and all your coordination goes wrong, that's okay, that's perfectly usual. Probably best to sit down, fix the arms first, or just switch to a less complex movement so that you can enjoy it, so you can feel how the weight transfer and the arm actions work together. Okay, that's our sequences of coordinated moves. Let's have a stretch, starting with, let's work from the bottom up, starting on calf stretch. So we're stretching the lower leg. Take up support for this, don't want to challenge balance. It's a backward step, and we press the heel into the floor. And you can see the back leg is straight, the heel is on the floor. Now if that feels you don't have a stretch sensation, then we could ease it back a little bit, see how you go. But also it might be a very small backward step, really depends on the mobility, the flexibility you already have. So pick that stride length, you should feel a sensation of stretch in the calf, but also if I lengthen here, I've got an extra stretch here in the front of the hip. Holding this, just a slow count in your head over time, building up 12, 20 seconds, maybe 30. If you want to step out after a few seconds and go in again, that's okay as well. We're looking to just build up time in this position. Don't forget to do both legs. If you've been with us a while, and you'll know, and if you would like to add into that the back of arm stretch, plus the upper reach, that's one that you can add in if you're happy in your standing balance position. Continue with that in standing on your calf stretch. Here's the seated option for calf stretch. It's a long leg and the toe comes back towards me, squeezing the toe towards my shin, keep the posture lifted. You'll feel the feeling of stretch and tension behind the lower leg. That's what we're after. You might have a little sensation of effort in the shin. That's usual also. Release the foot. Again, looking to add the seconds on that, 8, 12, 20 seconds if you can. If stretching lower limb, feet, ankles isn't an option for you, focus on the back of arm stretch here, keeping the head still, easing that arm up. Focus on that whilst we do the calf stretches, same on the other side. Okay. Now we're going to move up to the back of thigh stretch, and I'm going to ask everyone to sit down unless you are familiar and comfortable with the standing option. I'm only going to run through the seated options for this. So return to sit. Hip wall forward, so you're forward in the chair, and as I've said over previous movement snacks, getting into this position to feel the stretch will greatly depend on the size of the chair, the type of the chair, how long your legs are, how mobile your feet and ankles are. So there's lots of little things that you can check and play with and modify over time. Have a look. It's a long leg is the first thing, as long as you can comfortably get it. Release the foot, that could be flat or it could be toe up, is the next thing. Coming up the leg, the knee here. Just take it off the lock, just take it out of that feeling of weight and gravity pushing down on it. Just take it off the lock for now. Then it's the check through the hips. This is possibly the most critical and significant movement that will affect this stretch sensation. If you feel squashed and slumped in the middle, we want to try and shift the position of this pelvis, these hips. So you're trying to be as long as you can. And now we're back on our hip hinge position that we've been working on in standing. Breathe, release, keep the chest lifted. You can support arms here if you want. Can you feel it? Can you feel the stretch? Now you're either screaming at me, yes, no, or you're having a cup of tea and you're not even doing the stretch, brackets. Helen Rothwell. Yes, I'm going to say your name. All in best humour, Helen, you know that. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Have a feel. Come out, slow, 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 slow. Release the leg, and you might want to do a couple of sets, and it'll take a while to find that. Other leg, other leg, other leg. Continue with the other leg. It's the foot check, it's the knee check, it's the lift and the lengthen, and it's the go in, ease down. If back of thigh isn't an option for you, we're going to move on to the upward side stretch here, or repeat that upward side stretch. This back of thigh flexibility, or perhaps hamstring flexibility, as you may be familiar, really going to help us get down to low levels, all that stuff that we need to do at feet, toes and ankles, shoes, socks, etc. And greatly contributes to stride length, stairs, slopes, all those things. Here we go then. A little bit more focus on this back of arm stretch. In sit or stand, we're focusing on shoulder and back of arm now, so unless you're really confident in standing, just have a sit down and focus on this stretch here. I'm going to come slightly closer so you can see. It may be that you can only get the arm to here. That's your position, that's the right place to hold. The right place to hold is at the comfortable position where actually that's as far as you can get. That's the hold position. That's the stretch position right there. And over time, we would hope to see that can creep up. 8, 12, 20 second hold and slowly release. Same on the other arm. Have a little release in between. Just before you take this back of arm stretch, here's the extra check. Make sure you're stretching on a really strong and supported posture and base. It can walk over like so, or we can just support the weight of the arm while it gets in position and then hold. And it might be here, it might be way up there. The right position is the position that you're in. And we just support it because the arm is heavy. Okay. Then we're going to go into our upward side stretch. Now that could just be a straight up just for a couple of seconds here and release, holding support if you need, or seated. If getting the arms high isn't right for you, or shoulders are not happy with that, you could try to link the arms and just lift here. Squeeze it there, and that offers some support for the shoulders as well. And again, you're just easing up, but what we want to do is just shift, a little shift out of the side to get the stretch down the trunk. We're stretched. Do you feel a bit taller, a bit more upright, a bit more? Stretching should feel good. It shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be uncomfortable, but you should feel the sensation of stretch, but it's controlled and it's measured and completely within your control. It all depends on how big a range of movement we put our body parts in. Do you feel stretched? You might want to go around those again without me. And no doubt you're going to crowbar extra minutes back out in the garden while the sun's still here. That's 30 minutes extra in the bag, over and above anything else you've done. That's all we're looking to achieve here. Accumulate minutes, create new routines and thoughts about how we move. Keep doing everything else that you're doing. And hopefully these movement snacks will further enhance that. Do you feel enhanced? I hope you feel enhanced. Go deploy all that into your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. for the morning movement snack, and the morning routine is mobility. Keep on moving, keep on crowbarring. See you tomorrow. Thank you.